Today, Gaming America is speaking with Alex Dubin, founder and CEO of BettorOff. That's BettorOff, the one-stop shop for sports bettors, providing transparency in sports betting, data, and information. Thank you for speaking with us today, Alex.
Thanks for having me, Ken.
Our pleasure. My first question is sort of more about you. I was wondering, what's your background professionally, and how did you end up at the helm of BettorOff?
So I'm an attorney by trade. I was a hedge fund and PE attorney. I did a year working for Louis Freeh at the Freeh Group, and then I was a hedge fund and private equity associate at DLA Piper. A lot of quants, a lot of sort of fund building, but figured out that it wasn't for me. I was a little bit. I was not a corporate guy. Ended up leaving the firm and starting a quant hedge fund that was actually a daily fantasy sports hedge fund with three of my clients called Roto Capital, where we were playing DFS using quant algorithms. We ran that for 2 years. We're very successful with it. Ended up unwinding it when the DFS landscape shifted with Eric Schneiderman taking DraftKings and FanDuel to court. We then started a sports data and analytics company that focused on esports called NextTake. We ran that for a couple of years and were eventually acquired by SportsGrid. I served at SportsGrid for a couple of years and then left to start BettorOff. It was 2 years in July.
Cool. So for our viewers, could you sort of give us the spiel about what BettorOff provides, what it does?
Yeah, so BettorOff, as you said, it's an enhanced social media platform. We're built to cater to the underserved sports betting communities on Twitter and to some extent on Instagram by providing value add features. So really everything that the sports bettor could want all in one place. And instead of just a social media platform that happens to have sports bettors on it, which is how we see Twitter, we are built for sports bettors. So if you think about how LinkedIn is basically Facebook, but built for the business world, right? Or Twitch is really just YouTube, but built for gamers. We are that same social media platform, but with tons of value add features built with the sports bettor in mind.
Mm-hmm. Could you perhaps elaborate on one or a few of these value add features?
So sure. If you think about the things that as a sports bettor, you need to go elsewhere to find. We have it all in one place. So lines from over a dozen different books: DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars. We also have, by the click of a button, the best odds feature, so that you don't have to spend time figuring out which book has the best lines for which game, which prop. Groups and competitions, the ability for a group of friends or family or a fraternity or work friends to compete and pick against each other with a leaderboard that tracks everything. But the bedrock of what this platform is built on is transparency. Bringing transparency into an incredibly opaque industry, which is sports wagering information, where on Twitter, anyone can make any sort of claims they want about ROI, about win rate, and none of it is verified, right? You can delete tweets, you can delete entire accounts, you can have multiple accounts. BettorOff, all of the picks and all of the histories of every single user are stored on the blockchain and are therefore immutable.
Right.
And so what we've created is a meritocracy, where in Twitter, as we've seen, the most bombastic, the loudest, they're the ones who get the most attention, right? You hit your 15-way parlay and turn a nickel into 50 grand. that's great, and it will get shared all over Twitter. But if what you're looking for as a sports bettor is good information from pickers who win, they may not be the most exciting people, and therefore you may have trouble finding them on Twitter. On BettorOff, the leaderboard is going to show who is actually the best and the most effective, and that ends up sort of marketing the most effective pickers rather than the most bombastic.
Right. I was wondering, because with all this talk of social media and being online, do you think this will help bring in younger people towards sports betting, or do you think that's even necessary?
So younger people, and it depends where you are, but really if we're talking about 21, sports betting has always been massive. But what BettorOff is meant to do is, in part, meant to bring the younger bettor in, obviously of legal betting age, but to introduce them into the world of sports betting. And they can do that free of charge. Everything is free except for if somebody wants to sell their picks. And obviously you have the right to choose that or not. But for younger people to become part of the community, and to be able to follow people who explain their picks, to follow people who will speak with their users, it can be as educational as the user wants it to be, all the way up to experts who are using terms of art and industry and very much know why they're there.
Yeah. I was wondering what your business model is then. If you say it's free for people to use, how are you guys making money?
Oh man, we're supposed to make money. I knew I forgot something.
Yeah.
Well, so it's a freemium model, right? So our belief is that the core features and even the extended features of the platform need to be free, because what we're trying to build here is a community. And if you're gouging people from day one, or if you're very clearly just setting up to upsell them to the only stuff that's valuable, you're going to tick them off. So literally 99% of what we offer, stats, data, schedules, scores, lines, all free. There will eventually be premium features, really sort of deep data and analytics, the ability to generate super deep reports on your own work. But right now, we're much more interested in community building than revenue. But what you'll see first is the pro channels, right? So if you are a user who is great in any one area, right now, it can be something as well understood as the Lakers, or it can be the University of Akron football. If you win, you win. And if you're there and you pick on the University of Akron, and you're able to show to the community that you're a winner and you will rise through the leaderboard, people will follow you. And at whatever point you choose, you see, I have 10 or 20 or 1,000 followers. You can take your channel and you can monetize it. You can go pro and you can set your price. And users can actually make money off of their ability to pick. We will eventually take a rev share of that, same way sort of Uber does with its drivers. But at the moment, again, we're much more interested in community building. So for the foreseeable future, we're actually returning full profits to the channel hosts.
Gotcha. How about the development of this platform? What's your team like? It's you, and do you have computer whizzes? Or are you the computer whiz designing all this?
Yeah, no. So the most important thing for me was surrounding myself with people smarter than I am, which wasn't as hard to do as I would have thought. But Ryan, a rock star CTO, our dev team is tremendous. We were able to build this for iOS and Android at the same time. I think what we might be most proud of is the UI UX. Our UI UX team is incredible, because what you see in a lot of these sports wagering, sports information, sports social media applications and platforms is there's so much data, and developers get so excited about throwing it all there that they basically take, a website worth of information and just jam it into your phone and give you the ability to go landscape and just hope that you have, narrow fingers. For us, we are mobile first. And so the platform is really built to be elegant, to be slick, and to not sort of overwhelm the user on a smaller screen size.
Yeah. I was wondering how you go about marketing such a platform.
Yeah. So that's the question, right? Because no matter what a platform like ours offers, without scale, there's no value proposition, right? A community of, 1,000 people isn't a community. That's just a group of people talking sports. We have to this point been entirely organic. So it's been social media, TikTok, Instagram. TikTok has been our main means of sort of getting out there. It's definitely the hottest social media channel at the moment. We've built up a user base of over 10,000 in that sort of organic, no spend strategy, and we're thrilled that we've gotten that popular without having to spend real money to this point.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you think? What about partnerships in the future? Do you see yourself partnering with anyone, like even a sports book or anything like that?
So we're open to any partnership that enhances the experience for our users. Whether it's sports books or any other company that by bringing our offerings together with theirs can add data, add value, reduce latency. So there are sports books that, you get direct API feeds. You're able to get lines to the users faster. There are obviously giveaways that you can do in partnership. We do live streams of games, the ability to have a sports book or any sort of sponsor who wants to add their mark or their value to that programming, knowing that they're getting their target demo, right? 100% of our demo are sports fans and sports bettors. So we're always open to growing the partnership area.
Cool. How long have you guys been active for?
Let's see. The company turned 2 in July. We launched in November. We turned on monetization and private channels for the last Super Bowl. So you call it somewhere between November 21 and February 22.
Yeah. How is the growth of the community going?
So it's great. We are we're under a year old. So we're certainly much further along than we had expected. We didn't expect to have 11,000 or 10,800 and something is obviously not a large gross number. But we've seen the viral or organic growth, if you will, spread much more quickly than we'd anticipated just through word of mouth. Because of the offerings, but also because of the experience, because of the fact that everything is in one place and you don't need to have 3 windows open, which obviously on a phone is incredibly difficult to do. But the verification part, the part where you can't delete pics, you can only have one account. That's something that this community hasn't had. You've had the ability to find people who bet on Twitter, but what you see is self-promotion. And what BettorOff has brought into that world is a level of transparency and verification that our users have come to expect, and that we expect will spread throughout the landscape.
Cool. Yeah, I wanted to ask, it's kind of my final question. Where would you like to see BettorOff 18-24 months from now?
So yeah, it's a great question. What we focus on is user growth, but not just through user acquisition, through improving the user experience. We expect to keep working to iterate and turn the platform into the true one-stop shop for bettors, where for information, for community, for competition, really just to become synonymous with it, the same way where if you say, okay, what's the social media platform for business? I think everyone says LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
If you talk to a gamer and the gamer says, oh, I stream, I stream Fortnite, you know that you're going to their Twitch stream, right? You're not thinking about what other channel. Our goal in that, even 12-month period is that when you say, what is social media for sports wagering? Where do you go to get information? Where are your picks tracked? That becomes synonymous with BettorOff.
Yeah. Do you think you have competition? And what
There's
does that look
always
like? Yeah.
There's always competition, right? Especially in this space. Nothing is growing, I suppose cannabis, but really outside of that, nothing is growing as fast as sports wagering, specifically in the United States, where, it's legalizing sort of state by state. We have competition on the margins, I would say, for certain things that we do, right? We are not the only people who track picks. We're not the only people who do social media. We're not the only people who have odds. But as far as aggregation of all of those features, bringing it together around a community where all of the picks are verified, where all of the users can become experts and monetize for free, and where the user experience is as slick as really we've all come to expect from the mobile experience, our belief is that we'll win out by delivering all of that in one place through the best user experience.
Cool. Well, I wish you the best of luck in that.
I appreciate it.
This has been Alex Dubin, founder, CEO of BettorOff. That's BettorOff. Thanks for speaking with Gaming America, Alex.
Thanks for having me, Cam.